Tomorrow's match marks the end of La Liga, but it will also be Toni Kroos's farewell from Real Madrid. One of the best midfielders in history is retiring. We all appreciate the opportunity to have seen a genius playing football. Thank you, Toni, for everything you have given us. But as Ancelotti has said, you still have one more match to play.
Tomorrow will be the last match of the La Liga season, and it is the last match before playing the Champions League final. How is the team for tomorrow's match?
This will be a preparation match for the last match of the season, which is the Champions League final. We have worked well this week, and we will play the last match of the league season with the intention of doing well. This has been a fantastic season, and our work in the league has been very good from the beginning to the end, and we are very happy and satisfied with it. But tomorrow we also have another event. This is the farewell of a great legend of our club. So for tomorrow's match, there are many things we have to enjoy, and it will be an important match. Our fans will undoubtedly support us, as they have throughout the season. Honestly, we are very satisfied with how we have been able to manage this league. It is a title that we have deserved with a very wide margin. Throughout my career, this has been the easiest season to manage in terms of team atmosphere and staff. In this respect, I think the players have done very well, really well.
Kroos is saying goodbye to the team, Modric may stay, Nacho is also leaving. How have you experienced these recent news? Did you know about this beforehand? With the season almost over, can you see how the team will be next season?
Well, as I have said many times, the veterans, the legends of the club, have to choose how they want to end their time here. Toni has made his decision, and we all have to respect it. We must give him a farewell in the best way we can. I personally respect the decision he has made, because it is the decision of a man with courage, and that's the reality, and we have to accept it. Replacing a player of this level and class is very complicated, if not impossible. But this squad has resources, and especially the young players will have more responsibility. Everyone will have to follow the path the team has set over many years, winning multiple titles in Europe. Every year this team loses important pieces. But what cannot be lost is the good team atmosphere, the good attitude, and the commitment that this generation of footballers has had, including Toni Kroos, but also players who have left, like Varane, Casemiro, Marcelo, Ronaldo, Benzema, and I hope I haven't forgotten anyone. They all had this commitment. So Kroos, who is still here, and the young players of the new generation have to be able to maintain this clean environment that they themselves have created during these times.
You are an emotional person, as you have shown us here before. What did you feel when you received Toni Kroos's call about his decision? Did you try to convince him to stay?
We talked about this, and he was totally convinced of his decision. He wants to say goodbye to the team at the highest level and has the opportunity to say goodbye to everyone with all the honors. I perfectly understand what he thinks. Saying goodbye to a long career this way is ideal. I think we all would like to say goodbye this way, reaching the highest level. But reaching the highest level, you have to have the courage to make this decision and actually do it. Toni has already made the decision, and as I have just said, I highly respect what he is doing.
How was that moment? With Casemiro, for example, he said some tears were shed. Then you said it is very difficult to replace Kroos. Is there anyone now in the world who can assume this role? Someone who has the quality and experience. Do you think there is anyone who can resemble him a bit?
Well, finding a player with the technical quality that Toni Kroos has is very difficult to do. No, but we are not thinking about that now. We are thinking about giving Kroos a dignified farewell and preparing well for the final match. He himself thinks the same. He wants to say goodbye to the fans at the Bernabeu Stadium and prepare well for the Champions League final, just like all of us. Toni is now very calm and focused on what he has to do. And his focus is on tomorrow, on June 1st, and for Europe, of course. As we said in the last press conference, he is German, and trying to convince him of something is not so easy. We said goodbye calmly. There were no tears at all. Everything was really fine. He is very convinced of the decision he has made.
Tchouaméni has not played several matches, and so far, there is doubt that he will play in the final. Today, he did not train with the group. How is Tchouaméni at this moment?
He is saying training individually and will not be able to play in the final is ruled out. But I think he will be ready to play in the European Championship.
Besides talking about Kroos farewell, today is the 10th anniversary of your team's famous title, La Decima. Kroos had not yet arrived at Madrid for that season, but did so the following season. Now, there are only a few players left from that title. Only Nacho, Modric, and Carvajal, besides yourself. Have you talked about that title? What memories do you have of that great achievement?
Naturally, we have a vivid memory of what happened 10 years ago. It was then that this era of titles began for this generation of players. Obviously, there are fewer players since then, but there are young players now taking more responsibility and prominence in this club. I think that was where it started. That generation started winning titles from then on. They have won, they win, and they will continue to win titles.
Perhaps my question is a bit uncomfortable, as it is said that Toni could be a candidate for the Ballon d'Or, but since there are other players involved in this possibility, would you like Toni to win it, even knowing that there are other teammates who could also win this award?
Who will win the Ballon d'Or? I don't know. Now, if we are lucky enough to win the Champions League final, then more Real Madrid players will have the chance to win that individual award. But this is not the most important thing for us. For us, the most important thing is collective titles. And now we are close to winning another title.
You have talked about the young players in the team. One young player who is not yet part of the squad is Mario Martin, but he trains with the main team. What do you see in this young player? Do you think the team can make a place for him in midfield for next season at Real Madrid?
Mario is a young player who is working and evolving very well. He could be in the squad with us because he has quality in his game, besides a good attitude in training. Obviously, he is a player we can consider in the future to be part of the main team, just like many other players we have in the academy.
Do you think one of the best midfielders in history is retiring? What makes Toni Kroos so special?
There is no doubt about that. He has been a midfielder with fantastic quality, sustained performance, and a lot of continuity. He is undoubtedly one of the best in managing the pace of the game with ball possession. He is one of the best indeed. He has a unique passing accuracy. So he has contributed a lot to the world of football, and not just to Real Madrid. So for all this, obviously, he has been and continues to be one of the best midfielders in football history.
Only 2 matches remain to see Toni Kroos wearing the Real Madrid jersey. These 2 matches could be his best 2 matches with Real Madrid. Which do you think is Toni Kroos's best match so far? Which match comes to mind?
It is very difficult to choose just one match. As I said, he is a player who has played with a lot of continuity, and he has always performed very close to the best level he could have. So it is very difficult to say which match he has stood out the most, because he has always stood out. His quality is always very high in all his matches.
You, as a man who admires the value of all sports, would you like to see Kylian Mbappe play in the Olympic Games?
This is a problem that the French team has to solve. I have nothing to do with this matter. If I have time, I will watch some of the Olympic Games, which I like to watch, especially the Italian athletes.
Besides Toni Kroos's retirement, there are many other players who are close to ending their careers at Real Madrid. How difficult is it to leave football? How difficult do you think it is to do what Toni Kroos is doing, leaving his career at such a high point, as many players wish to continue as long as possible? You are also a player. How difficult is it to leave something that has been a big part of your life?
I don't know. It depends on each person. Some may see it as something simple and find the right moment to do it, while others see it as something very difficult to do. It depends on each person. I don't think it was a difficult decision for Toni, because if it were, he could have continued playing without any problem. But he thought this was the right decision for this moment, so I think it wasn't too hard for him to decide. It wasn't so difficult for me because I had a plan to continue working in the football world, so it wasn't too complicated for me, really. But for some others, it can be complicated. It depends on each person.
Last year, it seemed that Nacho would leave Real Madrid, but he ultimately decided to stay with the team. This year, it seems like he might leave. Do you think this could change and he might decide to stay again? Do you think there could be a surprise and he might decide to stay at Real Madrid?
I believe he hasn't decided what he is going to do. We are waiting for his decision, but we are not in a hurry. I think Nacho's idea, as well as that of the others whose contracts are ending soon, is simply to finish the season in the best possible way. Afterward, they will have time to choose what they want to do for the next season. At this moment, everyone, including Kroos, is focused on trying to win the 15th European Cup.
Thanks, guys, for watching. See you in the next one.